So if you like 1920s history, you're in for a real treat tonight because I'm showing this 1925 issue, August 8, 1925 issue of Liberty magazine. This is original, not a reprint, and it's just full of amazing stuff. So between the photographs, the artwork, the ads, it is just a great little snapshot. So here's a painting by Norman Hall, which kind of reminds me of Norman Rockwell, and a guy cooking breakfast reading a postcard. $1,000 for a title to this cover. There was a little contest, so he's got a postcard, and it's from his wife, and he looks angry when he's reading it. It's signed wifey, so I wonder what the caption ended up being. I'd have to find that next issue of Liberty to find out. Okay, the first page has an ad for Quaker puffed wheat. Seen a trend in a lot of these old magazines of cereal ads in the inside cover, but a joyous temptation no child can resist. Puffed wheat by Quaker. There's the old Quaker logo. There's a puffed wheat macaroons recipe. Here's the old box from 1925, and here's a painting of a child eating puffed wheat in a high chair. The next page has an ad for Star Cars, low-cost transportation. Just a beautiful two-door sedan here for $750. Dark blue liqueur finish. These are the reasons why you should prefer the Star two-door sedan. For roominess measured against any other two-door, five-passenger closed cars selling for less than $1,000. Wow, can you only imagine being able to pick up a new car for that price? The next is the editorial page, and it has a table of contents. There is an article by General Billy Mitchell in this issue that played into his career. If you read history, then as you can already start to see, this is a by and large a fiction serial magazine. So it ran stories that were romance, intrigue, drama in fiction, in addition to having some articles. So Liberty was a kind of a reader's magazine, like a Reader's Digest somewhat, that had dramatic stories in it. So the first story here is The Road in Their Heart, a new serial of reckless youth and the sinister shadow of the law. So the caption on the picture says, "What were you doing?" demanded Dorothy's father. Dorothy's eyes mocked him, dared him. So the topic here is teenagers who are defiant of their parents. And the story continues on. Here's the caption. The last thing he expected was to find her dressed for departure in the act of thrusting an automatic into her suitcase. Oh my gosh. She's packing a pistol. I mean, this is pretty, this is kind of a pot boiler. So I haven't read the story, but this caption and this picture kind of make me want to read it because I want to know what's going on here. And look, then, just why Dorothy never knew, it had suddenly belched flame. Shots beyond her counting had escaped from its short muzzle. Some had splintered the windshield. The others dashed. Okay, there's a murder going on here. This is crazy. So, number one, just take note of the artwork. The light color, but it's this charcoal drawing is really well done. So this story is about reckless youth, murder, pretty good stuff. The next story is Saratoga in August. They're off, and so are most of the folks who bet on them. Way off. The caption says, 20,000 strangers to play 20,000 bookie baffling systems. You cannot lose in spite of the fact that you almost always do. This is a cautionary tale about gambling. Now they are all really well. Vital, joyous, certain once more of their power, thousands have found the way to glorious health through one simple food. Not a cure-all, not a medicine. Fleischmann's yeast is simply a remarkable fresh food. This is an ad for Fleischmann's yeast. It was used a lot more back then than just to rise bread, but it was used as a stomach remedy, all kinds of things. Here's a little interesting thing. My cat used to, when I was growing up at least, my dad had tried the Fleischmann's yeast one time for a stomach problem, and the cat couldn't resist it. She would just come over and just start licking that yeast. I mean, she loved the powder right out of the can. She would just eat it and eat it and eat it, and we had to stop her. So there's something in that flavor that really was appealing to her. So that's the Fleischmann's yeast was used for lots of things. So nowadays, I don't. You still can find it, but it's really just sort of relegated to baking bread if you still do that at home. Okay, and I'm going to read some more captions. You'll see the women of the rich, mere um, dilettantes compared to their sisters, to whom a $200 loss or win is a calamity or a godsend. Dilettantes, I think that means amateur. She hears the fat handicapper's fatter wife complacently talk of fleece lined, and her courage falls away like sand. So, this is about gambling. This is 1925, so the language is much different than what we're used to today. Here's an ad for Eastman Kodak. Number 1A, Pocket Kodak Series 2 with Kodak Anastigmat lens, f7.7, and Diomatic shutter. So you can count on this camera for good pictures. It's easily worked and splendidly equipped. Very cool. Saratoga in August is continuing on to this page. Now here's an ad for something very interesting. This was 1925, so radio was starting to come into its own. And here is the Atwater Kent radio. Make your decision on merit alone. When you buy your radio, go about it in this way. See every make you're considering, look at it inside and out. Is it clean, workmanlike job? How every radio in action, judge it for tone and volume, selectively in distance. Has any one feature been sacrificed to overemphasize another? So the Atwater Kent was, replacing pianos and organs is the home entertainment center. So it's very interesting. The next story is Heavy Sugar by Mrs. Wilson Woodrow. Interesting name, like Woodrow Wilson. I wonder if that's a pen name. The girls stared to him flatteringly, a step nearer. No, strayed to him flatteringly, as this is a love story of a young millionaire's day in court. I wonder what this is about. The biggest human enterprise. Some interesting facts about Sally, who is a partner in it. This is about children and medicine. And they're showing like a before and after picture. It says Sally, Chicago public school boy who illustrates how the greatest business in the world is being mismanaged. Both pictures are of Sally. They were taken 7 months apart. Something came into Sally's life to make this change. The story tells all. I'm not sure if this is an ad or really a story. And this is more of Heavy Sugar. They told you to get the heavy sugar, didn't they? In other words, to extort from Mr. Larrabee a large amount of money. Looks like she might have been having an affair with somebody. Traveling's hard work too. So remember, when you're coming to Statler City, you won't have to argue with us and giving you things you want. We know the traveling's hard work, and we know how to make you comfortable. The Statler Hotels. Buffalo, Cleveland, Detroit, St. Louis. And Statler operated Hotel Pennsylvania, New York. Hotels can do a lot toward making the hard work of traveling easier for you. When you get to one of these hotels, we do everything we can to make your way smooth and your visit comfortable. In the first place, we maintain our houses in new condition, keeping them bright, clean, fresh, attractive. They are virtually new hotels, but their service is administered by trained and seasoned organizations which are not newly built. We try to meet you with courtesy and with helpfulness. if that's what you need. We try to look at things from your point of view. We try to anticipate your wants as far as we can. And that's surprisingly far when you come to think of it. And if despite our trying there's a slip in service which displeases you, prompt and satisfactory adjustment will be made for your asking. In anticipating your wants, we know, for instance, that you want cleanliness, and we're cranks about having things clean. We know you'll want a completely equipped bathroom, so we have no guest rooms without one. We know you'll want ice water frequently, so it's piped to your room. We know you'll want to see a paper when you get up in the morning, so we slip one under your door while you sleep. We know you're apt to want something to read besides what you have with you or the magazines you buy, so we have libraries waiting your request for a good book. The list of things in which your wants are anticipated in these hotels would be long, long. So, and their prices are $3 a night. Wow. Each room has a private bath, circulating ice water, and many other conveniences of equipment and furnishings that are unusual, such as, for instance, the bedhead reading lamp, the full-length mirror, the morning paper that's delivered to your room before you wake. Here's auto light ignition for Fords. Your Ford plus auto light ignition equals big car performance. It's funny how that logo hasn't changed very much. Big price reduction again has been demonstrated the great savings to American consumers by big quantity production. This is an ad for Smokador, the ashless ash stand. This is back then everybody smoked, so they would deposit their cigarette into this, and it would go out onto this tube, and it would cancel out the smoke. So interesting. This is an article by Billy Mitchell, former Brigadier General of the Air Force, where he was arguing against battleships. And he was basically stating the fact that airplanes made battleships obsolete. And there was some truth to that, but the Navy didn't appreciate that, and that led to one of the things that led to his court-martial, I believe. This is an important article if you study the history of the Air Force. I think time has decided in his favor, but at the time he had really angered the Navy. This is now a new way to lighten cloudy teeth. It's an ad for Pepsodent, and there's a coupon there. Film, the worst enemy of teeth. You can feel it with your tongue. Film. They didn't call it plaque then. They called it film. And so it's interesting. The slippery, viscous coating there. So Pepsodent, I believe, still exists. Here's more of Billy Mitchell's article demonstrating what airplanes can do to battleships. Here is Wrigleys Juicy Fruit Chewing Gum ad. I really like this ad. Each letter has Wrigleys is as beneficial as it is pleasant and lasting. Regular use of it will aid the teeth, appetite, and digestion. See, each sentence starts with a letter. Let the children have Wrigleys for lasting pleasure and benefit. Eat wisely, chew your food well, and use Wrigleys after every meal. So they're almost marketing juicy fruit as a medicine. This ad right here is one of my favorites in any magazine. It's in 3 colors, gray, yellow, and black. It's something you could frame on your wall. This grill of a Chevy. It's just an early example of graphic design and marketing. Keep in mind, cars have only been around for 35, 40 years, so and this is really a cool, very modern approach to advertising for cars. The next 2-page spread is something that you could pull out of the magazine and frame, and it's really beautiful. It's a map of Paramount Pictures. If it's Paramount Pictures, it's the best show in town, and this is a map of the studios and the sets, and it shows all the movies that are being made that year, including The Coast of Folly with Gloria Swanson, American Venus, New Brooms, Lovers in Quarantine with B.B. Daniels, The Trouble with Wives, Florence Vidor, Tom Moore, The Golden Princess with Betty Bronson, If you're a movie person, I mean, gosh, I mean, wouldn't you want this on your wall framed? I mean, isn't this like such a cool? And look at the old racing car. I mean, this is such a cool thing you could frame. Rudolph Valentino and Cobra. Zane Grey's Wild Horse Mesa. Pola Negri in Crossroads of the World. Adolf Menjau in The King of Main Street. This is just one of the coolest things. I mean, wow. The test of time has steadily increased the unparalleled popularity of BVD underwear, and the test of time is applied to each individual BVD garment. It is partly responsible for the great popularity. BVD wears, it wears longer, and it's an ad for underwear. Here's the next story, No Mittens. The caption says, "The oldest man spoke to me. He said, 'Here you go, get out of here.' I didn't say anything. I just looked at the oldest man." Sprats Ovals, the pocket dog biscuit. Look at this ad. "Jiminy, look at that pup go. Bet there's a party at his house and he's hurrying home with the dinner. Look, they're going to have Sprats. Wish we were invited." The fine thing about Sprats is that it's complete dog food containing all the ingredients needed to build bone, body, and health. No additional food is required. Sprats is economical and not troublesome or musty to feed. And there's a book you can get. This valuable book contains many helpful suggestions for the care and treatment of dogs in sickness and in health. A copy will be sent upon receipt of a 2-cent stamp. 20 Years a Big League Umpire. The inside story of the most famous careers in baseball by Billy Evans. "I will prove to you that you can make $100 a week. 700 men and women want it at once. Amazing profits for easy work." I bet that's a scam. "They furnish the automobile," it says. "We furnish an offer. We offer to provide a car without any expense to you whatever. Just write for our proposition, mail the coupon for details and plan that will give you this automobile without expense and from $10 to $30 a day in cash." This has got to be a scam. "Use Molly Mole." It's pronounced Mole for shaving without brush or lather. And then you can get a free tube if you send this. "Far from worry through coupons." Time worries and money worries seldom follow the man whose safe deposit box contains well-secured bonds. So, National City Company, buy your municipal bonds there. "That's one reason I want 100 men who can earn $600 a month." And that was big money back then. And there's another coupon to send away for this opportunity. "Not a hair out of place" with Stockholm, and there's a coupon. There's a lot of freebies in this magazine. I mean, you can stock up your medicine cabinet just by sending all these back. A railway postal clerk ad talking about paid vacations. He's had them both. Lenco Easywear foot aids. "Do you attract men?" It's a perfume ad. Eau de Cologne, number 4. And, of course, there's a coupon to send for your sample. "Your hair gets no vacation. Heed nature's 3 warning signals and keep your hair beautiful with Wild Root Hair Tonic." And that, if it doesn't still exist, that has been around for a long time. The book catalog, Detroit's finest hotel. All guest rooms above the 6th floor. Guest rooms of the book catalog begin on the 7th floor, thus obtaining unusual advantages in light air and freedom from traffic noise. All rooms have full outside exposure, giving magnificent views over the city or the Detroit River. 6 express elevators afford rapid access to lobby and public rooms. And wide variety of restaurants serve substantial food at moderate prices. In warm weather, all air supplied to restaurants is automatically cleansed and cooled. New youth-giving belt reduces waistline quickly. Look at that. They're still selling stuff like that on TV today. Your fat will go as minded. There's a diet ad, and you get a sample for free. Clothing prices tumble. Salesmen now make $100 a week easily. And what are they selling? Tents? Prize Fighters Train Stage and Society Women by Brenda Uland. How the bruisers of yesterday in these changing times have become gentle guides along the difficult path to beauty. Huh. This is exercise. Here's to get your subscription to Liberty. Here's an ad for Bell Telephone. Typewriter ad. Shoe. That's a thing to put in your shoes to make them last longer. Agents new spark plug visible flash for spark plugs. I want 700 A's for. It's another one of them ads to make $100 a week. Don't shout. Some school for the deaf. Ask for Horlicks, the original malted milk, safe milk, and diet for infants, children, invalids, nursing mothers, etc. Avoid imitations. Boys earn money in your own neighborhood. Probably delivering newspapers, I guess. Fatima cigarettes. It's a very interesting, dramatic ad there. Here's Resinol soap. Irresistible in the charm of smooth, clear skin. Here's the suggested hat on Win Money for Liberty contest. And it shows you some of the winning titles. For this cover, the winner was United States Mail First Class. The second prize went to 2 full payments and a promissory note. 2 full payments and a promissory note. I get it, yeah. Third prize was Colors That Never Run. Fourth prize was A Gallant 3 on the Glorious Fourth. Fifth prize was The Battle Hymns of Our Republic. Sixth prize, Upholders of Unity, Security, Amity. Seventh prize was Yankee Doodle Dandies. And eighth prize was 3 of Our Kind. That was a lot of money back then. My goodness. First prize was $500. That was a lot of money. Here's some movie reviews. Dong Q, Son of Zorro, starring Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Astor. Seed, starring Virginia Valley and Mary Alden. The Manicure Girl was starring B.B. Daniels, Edmund Burns. And these are the reviews. This is an article about how they dress up in movies. When you get a good thirst, treat it right. That's why an average of more than 6 million a day walk up and plank down a nickel for ice cold Coca-Cola. What are you not seeing in this magazine? Have you noticed no ads for liquor or beer? It's because this was prohibition. So Coca-Cola and ice water and everything else, but no alcohol. Here's the crossword puzzle. Children's fashions. The family picnic is a rejuvenator. And then here's the next story. The finding pot is for silver. And the caption says, only once was she interrupted by Anson's ejaculation of, that was the fellow who telephoned me then, as she told of Ardnasy's threat. And look at the color in these charcoal drawings. It says, I'm going to shoot you first and afterward myself. A spasm of alarm traversed her like an electric shock. Jeffrey, not yourself. Murder-suicide. Corona typewriters. Another ad to buy bonds. Dollar stropper. Oh, that's a razor sharpener. A stropper. Wife in business. How a bride and a budget can make a sound financial institution of the home. Putting your wife in business. And there's some artwork. I always do my own marketing. I like to market so many things that one buys to eat or pretty to look at. Vote for the kind of story you like or do not like. Liberty will pay $1 a word for 100 words. I mean, they were throwing out a lot of money in 1925. Here's an ad for fountain pens. Duofold oblique. Guaranteed like the 5 other Duofold points. For 25 years each way you hold it, it gives it a separate effect. And we finally end up with a Lucky Strike ad on the back that's very pretty. Don't delay the pleasure of smoking Lucky Strike. Learn now what It's Toasted really means to you. And that's it. That was a little look at August 8th, 1925, Liberty Magazine. The ads, the stories, and what you could expect from a magazine then. This was all original, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.